Hello, 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 and welcome to the latest installment of And Sarah Appeared. My name is Sarah, and I'm appearing before you to say that I am going to need Nene Leakes to get all of her justice. Nene Leakes is a reality star icon, and I don't care who doesn't agree, who doesn't see it that way. Here's the problem. The problem that I have with the culture, and I'm going to speak directly to my people. The problem is there is so much competition and backbiting, and this is in every culture, this is in every facade of life. So I'm not just saying that Black Americans are the only ones who, are in the realm or in the game of playing crabs in the barrel. But what I don't like about our people is that when you see somebody who has it factor, who has star quality, who has proven time and time again that they can stand and deliver, but because they don't look like the status quo that you want to see on centerfolds, covers, and representation of what you present as the Black community, you choose not to rally behind, and you choose not to advocate for that person, and you leave them alone by themselves to fight battles against conglomerates. Nene Leakes was left out in the cold, and the only ones who were supporting her were the fans. Nene Leakes was the vein, arteries, organs, heart, brain, vitality of the Real Housewives syndication. No one even watched really the other Real Housewives. The only other Real Housewives that people tuned into were the Real Housewives of New Jersey. But most people just watched Atlanta. They were not even interested in the other housewives. And the reason being is because Nene Leakes had it factor. Was she the only original cast member that had that? No, I will say Phaedra Parks also carried. She carried. And she carried well. And she was our favorite villain. Nene Leakes really wasn't a villain. She was a heroine. But because she was not the status quo, it seems like there was a lot of copy and paste that was going on with her persona and her personality. And with that, I leave out the Real Housewives of New Jersey because New Jersey was able to craft their own style. They were able to craft their own personas, and they were entertaining, not equally as entertaining as Atlanta, but they were entertaining in their own right. And so kudos to you. But here's what I have to say, and I'm not talking about because here's the thing. Let me tell you something. Why am I even talking about Black viewership? Nene Leakes is crossover talent. Anytime you're able to have a starring position, a guest star position on a show like Glee, you're crossover talent. And if we know anything about entertainment politics, when you are a crossover star, that means you're supposed to be getting crossover dollars. White people, Black people, Latino people, Asian people, Italian people, people in Europe love Nene Leakes. Why? Because she is relatable and she is a household name. And the woman gets better with time. Go check out the YouTube channel, Carlos King. He does really great aesthetic styled interviews, whether they be in person or virtual. He's a really great interviewer and has a great journalistic style. And I love how he was able to handle the interview that I've been in the middle of watching with Nene Leakes. Carlos King. He's doing a fabulous job. And I say that he handled her in the right light because sometimes in entertainment, what I've noticed is that when you go to interview with certain people, it's like a catch-22. You go in there to represent yourself, but when you go in there to represent yourself, it's like you're not, I don't know, you don't look right, or you don't fit, they're not fitting the aesthetic of who you are. When you interview someone, you should be putting the spotlight on that person in the best way when it's entertainment and not journalistic bag. When you're in your entertainment bag, you're there to make the person that you are interviewing the muse. When you're in your journalistic bag, you're there to get the story. So comfortability politics goes out the window, okay? But when it comes down to it, Nene Leakes has been in a conundrum of a fight she's trying to get the fair pay and recognition, and it's not just about the money. It's respectability politics. When you are carrying a show literally by yourself and you're asking for more respect, you're asking for yourself to be shown in a better light when you know you're able, when you know, not that you're able, you know you have been the one that has been drawing the numbers and the ratings. You're making hundreds of millions of dollars for a network conglomerate like NBC, and yet you're not getting the proper pay or recognition that you're supposed to be getting. And now she's jumping through, at that time when she was contracted with NBC, jumping through certain hoops to be able to be recognized and put out there on other platforms when her conglomerate should have been standing behind her and promoting her. She should not have had to lift a finger because she was the one that was bringing in ratings. She was the one that was bringing in viewership. And going back to the community, not the viewers, not the fans, because the fans have stand and supported Nene to the point where when she left the show, there was a drop in ratings. Because why? She was the show. When it comes down to it, at the end of the day and at the beginning of the sentence, there is a disparity within reality TV when it comes to women of color and non-women of color. And I believe that's the same disparity that's going on when it also comes to individuals who are heterosexual versus individuals who are homosexual. Minorities of whatever class that you're in are not being well taken care of, and yet they are the gamut of the culture. There are a lot of people who have recycled, circulated, and franchised off of Nene Leakes' persona. You're talking about an energy grab, if I've ever seen an example of one in the history of energy grabs. This woman has not had anyone. And I'm going to circle back around because I had said something personally that was a personal message. And because a lot of different eyes have been watching me, you know the message that I'm referring to, even though I have not released it publicly. There's a lot of things that I haven't released publicly that a lot of people have seen. Wink, wink. I don't like how within black celebrity culture we have the nerve to have a caste system and elitism. within our own community and we don't support each other. And here's the thing. I don't stand or stalk, or I'm not a culture vulture when it comes to the Jewish community. I respect that community, one, because I recognize their God as my God, and two, because I see how they mobilize and rally behind each other and support each other. And they do it whether or not somebody looks like the status quo within their culture. And that's something